The wealth gap in porn, as you might expect, is that women start at, she was saying, at 2,000, 2,500 a shoot up to 10K, and men start at 300 a shoot up to 2,000. So like your highest paid guy is not even scratching the beginning of where women are. And is that right? Is that fair? I have my take, but I'm curious for yours.
Well, yeah, this is weird because I tend to just say that the market should be able to do things like that. Mm-hmm. But I also tend to say that my impression of the wage gap is that if you take people agnostic of talent, experience level, or position, you end up with a vastly overstated wealth gap, if that makes sense.
Well, they're also doing different work, to be clear.
Like people talk about the bottle girls and the bus boys in Vegas. Bottle girls make 5 times more.
Well, we talk about this, to be clear. We're the only ones who talk because we lived in Vegas.
Sure. But I'm saying like you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year as a bottle girl in Las Vegas. If you're an attractive woman, like $400,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And a guy can make like $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
But the people paying for bottles want attractive women there more than they want
the bus
attractive men there. So that seems fine to me.
Yes.
So like I'm fine with a wealth gap in the bottle industry and the porn industry.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that gender is the most important thing to divide income from. I think it's like experience, value created, what you're doing.
Yeah. Forget gender. There's also a supply and a demand thing. All right. Our market wants someone who looks like her and someone who looks like you.
For instance, I bet gay porn actors make more than straight porn actors.
Why?
Why do I think that?
Yeah.
Because I've heard it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's shocking to me.
Yeah, straight men will do gay porn because there's more money in it.
Oh, I wonder if that's do they have to? Well, maybe. I don't know. I just had a bunch of thoughts in my head.
You didn't say anything.
Are they? So is the straight man known as the straight man? No. Interesting. Okay, so maybe that's just something that I would have intuited wrong.
In gay porn than you do in straight porn.
Got it. Well, that would make sense why they would do that in that case. But yeah, it's different. It's different work. The market has different things. There's different supply and demand. For you guys are clearly participating in different roles. I don't understand why in God's name you'd be paid anywhere near the same. It doesn't seem to make any sense to me. I think there ought to be just the general idea of viewing things primarily through gender doesn't make sense. Like, she is providing more value to this shoot. She's going to sell more copies. If you remove her and you replace her with someone else, it's harder to do to get that role. But she was of the mindset that equality. And so I guess, yeah, I don't agree with that. My take.
Neither do I. I think equity of outcome. I've never heard a good argument for why that would be the case.
Yes. Yeah, I think male NBA players should be paid more than their female counterparts, given that they earn more money and draw more crowds. I actually think the same thing is true. This is one that people get.
Well, that's a great point, actually. I think I view female porn stars making more as male porn stars the same way I view LeBron James making more than the best WNBA player.
Yeah.
Which is like completely fair because it should be based on amount of money generated for the company that you work for.
Well, it's not the case. So in tennis, prize money has been, Serena Williams fought to make it even though she doesn't bring in the numbers or play for as long as her male counterparts, but demanded equal pay, which for equal work, but it's not equal work because she doesn't have to play as many games as they do. Nor does she have to compete against the best athletes in the world.
I don't think solving for identical outcomes is good.
And I do actually, no, I want to take it back. I don't know if it was Serena Williams explicitly, but I do know that was a big...
Did it happen?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that they successfully lobbied for, which seems ludicrous to me.
Seems like a not good outcome. Like in the same, if female soccer players make more than male soccer players, or make less than male soccer players, or make the same as male soccer players, I think it should be based on the amount of money that they generate from fans that are willing to pay to see them.
Yeah.
And for tennis players,
well, this is the other thing. So I'll throw in a wrinkle there, and my data is coming from Andrew Schultz. Okay, so take this with a grain of salt. But apparently, the female soccer team years ago had the option to be paid as a percentage of like viewership and this, or to get a flat salary. And they chose to write a contract for flat salary. Then they won everything and did the backwards math and calculated that they would have earned more, so they sued them, which is like...
And they lost because they signed a contract.
And they lost because they signed a contract. But that's just the one wrinkle there is they would have been paid more than the men, except they opted for financial security.
Sure, I'm just saying in any viewership-based model, getting paid based on the amount of views you generate. Makes total sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is like me suing iTunes because Joe Rogan gets more views than me and saying it's age discrimination. It's like, no, man, people just would rather listen to him at the moment.
Well, it's, the clearest example is perhaps sales, which is imagine that you had a sales floor and there's 50-50 men and women, and imagine that on the sales floor, the men outsold the women and that they made a higher commission rate, and then the women then sued. Or you can imagine this in reverse, women, men, doesn't matter. Sued to say that there's gender discrimination because I can draw a line and on average women don't make as much, without respect to what you're creating or providing, because that's what entertainment is. It's a sales position. How many people can I sell eyeballs wise and sponsorship wise and time wise? But yeah, so I disagreed.
Yeah, I disagree.
I
also disagree.
Cool. That was easy.
There's also, but yeah, I mean, it's funny. People like, there are sales positions where men tend to outperform in that industry, but there's also like pharmaceutical sales,
medical supplies,
medical
baby.
device sales.
Yep.
There's industries that
women
can make
crush
hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and the women tend to outperform the men.
Yes.
And it's like, this makes sense. If doctors would rather buy from someone, then we should pay the person that gets the most sales for the company.
Yeah. Now, this obviously gets down a sticky slope, and we don't have to go to it. We've gone too long. But like, what if you find that doctors buy more from a particular race? You know, what if you find that doctors buy more from a particular this? I don't have the answers to these questions, but they are fun little rabbit holes to go down. Because if you find, for instance,
it might depend on the doctor though. Certain doctors might buy more from black people. Certain doctors might buy more from white people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but let's say that on the whole, society is discriminatory, such that doctors predominantly unevenly want to buy from, and just to mix things up. Yeah.
That is what I mean. This is the case, and we allow it.
Yes.
Well,
we are advocating to allow that. Riley Reid is saying, no, you have to pay everyone even regardless of what the market wants. Doesn't matter what the market wants. If it's comparable work, meaning you're showing up for roughly the same amount of hours, forget your output, because who cares? We're going to pay you the same. I've agreed with you thus far, is that we have to allow the markets to decide the value of the salesperson that is there.
Yeah, well, we talked about this. We don't have to beat it to death, or if you're going to divide by race and you're going to divide by gender, should we divide by IQ? Should we divide by height? Should we divide by other things?
You mean equalize? You mean equalize by these sorts of things?
Yeah, I'm saying if you're going to look at salespeople and you're going to say, well, on average, let's say black salespeople make 10% more than white salespeople. We don't like that, so we're going to take that 10%, divide it equally amongst white and black people. We're going to take some of the money from black salespeople and give it to white salespeople. It's like, what if I find that people with 120 IQ sell more than people with 90 IQ?
Yeah, you can't control it.
Are you going to take that excess money and equalize it? Like, it just seems like
same thing occurs, and we mentioned this with heterosexual versus homosexual. Homosexual men, on average, earn 10% more than straight men do. Now, why? Could be correlated IQ. I hear that on average that they tend to be smarter. It could be any number of things. Do we equalize there? Do you know what I mean? Like,
this is really my high level thing. It's like, okay, if we're going to equalize, why have we picked this? Because I can think of other ways to equalize.
And you'll get interesting answers when you find that. And what you tend to see is that it is, and we've talked about this, it's a power move. It's somebody asserting for more for themselves, but not.
Riley Reid is asserting more for
that's a
herself.
good, yeah.
Riley Reid is saying
that's a great point.
That she said she should make less. Well, or she's saying men should make more and the owners should make less.
I don't think she'd be as into it if it came out of her pocket. If you went, okay, we have $10,000 for talent. Normally you're going to get 8, or you're going to get 8.5, and he was going to get 1. But don't worry, you're each going to get 5.
Yeah.
See how willing she is
I'd
to
be curious.
Maybe with her current income, I don't think when she was starting out. And that's not any diss on her. That's, I think, a completely reasonable stance to take, to just say, I am more valuable. Why am I subsidizing this person that is 10 times more replaceable than I am? I would back that decision completely. I live that decision in my business. But yeah, so anyway, hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.